Ending in a vowel. If the next word.
Hey, this is Matt Stone of 180 Degree Health. I'm here with Raphael and Ryan, and it's doing some cool stuff out here. You know, you hear a lot about, we're talking about RBTI and what Challen is doing. These guys are sort of taken up with our agricultural side of what Reams did and trying to grow these high Brix vegetables. Could you talk maybe just a little bit about why you think Brix is a good indicator of the quality of the food and some of the things that you're doing to grow higher nutritional quality food out here?
Well, so far our Brix has actually been not as high as we hoped.
Yeah.
But already we're getting quality that you know, I just sliced a tomato. Maybe we can do that here at the field too. I sliced a tomato open for you, and you saw the solid meat that's inside, and you know the flavor is.
Yeah, well, I got to taste them, which is remarkable. I mean, it's definitely beyond supermarket quality. There's no question about that.
We're trying to exceed farmers market quality too. So
yeah.
We have, but anyway, Brix has been. You know, we're at kind of an average to good sort of Brix here in this field. But I was just pointing out I don't know how much color picks up on a video camera.
Well, we can see the rich color maybe right here. You can really see that blue tint.
Right here.
Yeah.
The blue tint is right there, and it's...
But these leaves are almost blue because they're just so dark. There's so much chlorophyll in these leaves. But that's one strong indicator. There's a bunch of jalapeno peppers here, but...
they're good.
Another thing we were happy to see is when we have crops and then there are the weeds right next to them are like decimated by bugs and our crops are untouched. That's a lot of fun to see as well.
Yeah,
you can see
very
there's
cool.
bug holes in the thorny plants right there. They're a bit small.
Yeah, I mean you can see this is you guys aren't using pesticides or herbicides or anything like that, right? Right?
Nothing like that.
Nothing at all.
We're using
Careful, Gabriel,
we are using a lot of soft rock phosphate, which is the same thing as Mincol. In fact, we've made Mincol from our soft rock phosphate.
And just for clarification, Mincol is one of the supplements that you take as a mineral supplement with the RBTI.
Yeah, and it's got lots of, it's got like 60, I guess 66 or so different minerals in a very, very available colloidal form.
Yeah.
That it helps plants just like it helps people.
That soft rock phosphate, SRP as we call it, is all it is Mincol, but we get Mincol from it. It's just way more, it's more coarse and not colloidal. It's not dissolvable in water.
Right, right. Well, cool. Well, I mean, the plants here, I mean, look really remarkable. I mean, these are fantastic. Just to give you an idea of the productivity here, I mean, you can see it's just solid tomatoes all the way through there. And pretty amazing. It's kind of hard to see all the way in there, but just solid fruit all the way through. So,
would you like to see
this tomato here? This thing is at least a couple pounds. I mean, just huge. Just massive. I don't know. Pretty amazing how thick this is. Here's the cherry tomatoes here. I just had a bunch of these guys earlier, and yeah, just beautiful, growing really thick in here. So Raphael's all fired up. Yeah, it's awesome.
They're ripening so fast every day. It's just, you can pick all of them one day, and the next day you'll have 10 more. You have 20 more plants that have a lot of ripeness.
Yeah, you guys are just getting them bucket after bucket right now, huh?
Yeah, at market they're really good sellers too.
Yeah, I love them.
On Thursday when we were at market,
yeah,
these are heirlooms. We sliced them up and put samples out. People, when they sampled them, they'd say, "I'll take this many. How much?" They didn't ask the price or anything like that. They just
they just grab them. They gotta have them, huh?
Yeah, and the cherry tomatoes sold like crazy.
Okay.
So here's an interesting case study. This plant, I mean, this row is not very well tended. It was planted at a poor time. We've had drought trouble this year, and we don't have irrigation at this field, and we really need to in order to get to achieve high Brix. Another thing is that we have had deer visiting this bed and stressing the plants out that way. So we've still got fairly dark leaves, so it's not all moisture stress.
Right.
But you can see, you know, bugs have been by here. I just saw somebody jumping off this guy. But then over here, Right next door, we have these like, you know, model.
Yeah.
They look like better. They look better than any ordinary farm squashes.
Yeah.
So there's patches of fertility, and there's, you know, we're still kind of at an uneven stage as the soil energy builds. We expect, and we're told that we'll have more of an even distribution of crop health in the field.
Cool.
You can see also in this bed, here are some very healthy leeks on the right.
Yeah.
And then you can see some wan ones here. So I don't know what all the issues were. Maybe it was transplanting style. You know, we're still new at this. But
oh, you're still new at this? You mean you haven't been doing this your entire life? Grew up on a farm?
We've been doing this for 3 years. And
well, it's their second year of production.
Second year of production. So you don't have to be a, you know, amazing farmer, study your whole life to actually get out and start growing some really quality stuff.
No, it's large scale gardening, and the high Brix methods, International Ag Labs testing, and the Reams-based agronomy is really making us look good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's very cool, and it's great for people, I think, to know that they can try some of this stuff out for themselves. That the agricultural lab will get you sort of on your feet and help you.
Yes, and they do have programs for home gardeners too. That you know, a lot more approachable. And my in-laws have a garden that was actually pretty far out of balance, and they've successfully applied a program this year with foliar feeding and that kind of stuff to help get some very nice produce out of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're like, was Pippa there?
There's Pippa and the giant tomato. Yeah, is it as big as your head? It's pretty close.
It's about as big as my brain.
Well, your brain has gotten so much larger recently. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
It's a multi-tomato. There's a cluster of flowers.
Yeah, it's a little cluster. Okay, a little cluster of flowers.
They all grow together when they're young.
Yeah.
You can see it right here.
So it's complicated when you cut them.
Yeah, I bet. That's pretty cool though.
Hyper tomato.
Pretty awesome strawberry leaf there. As you can see, everything they have, you can see it on this pepper too. I mean, it's just really shiny, glistening, totally untouched, uneaten. Again, no pesticides, herbicides, nothing like that. Just growing stuff that protects itself because it's so nutrient dense. This is your second growing season. Obviously, everything looks awesome. You're an amateur gardener. Didn't really have any idea what you were doing before you started.
Not at all.
What were they doing with this land before you got here?
For as far back as anyone around here remembers, this was fallow. Our landlord, we were leasing this field. Our landlord spent several years, was it like 30 years ago or 15 years ago, clearing out the trees and just, you know, taking it from scratch to a field. He's a Christmas tree farmer who grows trees across the street here. But,
so basically what you're saying is that this is not necessarily the most fertile land. This is, you guys have actually been able to take the soil and turn it into this magic soil just by the second growing season and having very little to no knowledge going in.
Yes, it was, every soil is different. This soil was deficient in everything.
Yeah.
There are lots of, what happens a lot of times is that you get soils that are that have an excess of something or another.
Right.
We don't have that problem. We have the problem of it just all sat. And, you know, the biological systems were just not kicked into high gear. So that's what Ag Labs has been trying to do with us, is trying to, you know, get our microbes jump started and just kind of get everything in high gear.
Well, it's really great. I appreciate you taking the time, Ryan. So.
Thanks a lot.